All right, what's up, guys? I'm going to try to share some very important leadership lessons with each and every one of you today on this episode from my time in the SEAL teams, mainly because I'm halfway in the mood to do it today, and it's a beautiful day, and I'm out here on the porch, so why not have a chat about something that I think can help you guys in your own personal lives and in your own personal journeys as leaders. And if you're not leading someone in life, and you're far enough along in life, I'm not speaking to kids here, but if you're not leading someone, then you're probably not living to your full potential. So this should apply to most of us listening to this. All right. I learned, I would say 98% of what I know about leadership from serving under poor leaders or from serving in the complete absence of leadership during my time in the SEAL teams. I did not serve under a good leader or leadership team until the latter part of my career when I became an instructor, a SEAL instructor. That was the first time that I actually experienced good leadership. Everything up to that point was either poor leadership or a total absence of, all right? Now, I'm not going to be complaining on this video. I have to lead up to this story right here. And so I'm giving you some context. My first platoon as a brand new guy, our platoon chief actually got fired halfway through our ULT, unit level training. And so therefore we went through the rest of our unit level training and a deployment with zero leadership, all right? The platoon chief in a SEAL platoon is a very, very important position. And for some reason, Naval Special Warfare could not provide a new platoon chief for my platoon. So that was my first experience in an absence of leadership right off the bat as a brand new frogman. We had a very weak LPO. Our platoon chief got fired. A lot of bad things happened. That's for another video. What I want to talk about is my second platoon. In my second platoon, we did have a platoon chief, but he was a poor leader. And sometimes I wonder what's worse, having a poor leader or having a total absence of leadership. I don't know what's worse. I almost would say that they're equally as bad. So in my second platoon, we had a platoon chief, and he didn't do a good job. He was an extremely broken human being. All right, and this is the things. This is what was screwed up, all right? Some of the things. I say he didn't do a good job. What do I mean by that? All right, first of all, physically, he was unfit for the job. Literally, that is important, all right? We're going to talk more about that in a minute, but physically, he was unfit for the job. This individual liked to throw people under the bus. In other words, he liked to use names of people when he would tell stories. He would like to use names and tell stories about other people's mistakes so that they would shine a good light on him. Now, here I am serving under his leadership, and I'm watching this person over and over again use names to tell stories to make other people look bad so that he looks better. How do you think that felt? Do you think that really instilled my confidence in him? No, it didn't, all right? Third thing, and this will be the last thing, he didn't shield his men from the bull crap, all right? In the military, and probably in corporate America, or probably in, if you work a local government job or whatever it may be, a lot of bull crap comes down the pipe. A lot of work that has no meaning and no purpose, just busy work, right? And that type of stuff, when it comes down the line, your leader, a good leader, should filter through that stuff and should shield his people or her people from the bull crap that comes down the pipe. Whatever that looks like. It may be simply telling the higher-ups, no, negative. We're not doing that, right? But my platoon chief was a yes man. So anything that came down the pipe, he would simply pass it along to his men and expect it to get done. And in turn, that made his bosses happy, right? But it extremely affected the morale of his men. So as a leader, you have to be able to shield your people from the bull crap, okay? So that's 3 things that were really screwed up, all right? Now I say I learned 98% of what I know about leadership from serving under poor leaders. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Through the years, I'm watching people whom are in charge, and I'm watching the decisions they make, the things they do, and then I'm reaping the repercussions of the decisions they make, the things they do. And that's impactful when me and the guys around me are getting the brunt force of the repercussions of that poor leadership. So you start after a while looking at these things and you start saying, man, that's what I if I'm ever in his position, I remember now how this feels, and I'm not going to let that happen. And so actually serving under poor leadership or no leadership, I think, will actually teach you leadership lessons more so than serving under strong leadership when everything's good, all right? And that was my case anyways. So this is what ended up happening in my 2nd platoon. With this poor leader, we're going through all through ULT. We actually go on deployment, and we're on deployment, and the Commodore of all of Naval Special Warfare comes out to our site where we're deployed, all right? And the Commodore comes out, and he puts out a message that says, hey, I'm going to come in and hang out with you guys in the platoon, and I'm going to I want to hear some unbiased feedback from you guys. You shooters, about what's going on. How's morale? How are things? I'm gonna open the door up for some real conversation, right? And so the Commodore is a super high up guy, and he comes in, and I'm like, well, this guy wants some. If he really cares, he wants some feedback about what's happening, at least within our platoon. He's here spending time with us. I'm going to let him know about our platoon chief. So the night before the Commodore comes out, I write a big long thing talking about my experience in this platoon, on this deployment, and throughout the last ULT. And when he comes in, we sit down. He says, does anybody got anything for me? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be your buddy. Well, I raise my hand and I read my thing to him. Hey, Commodore, I'm having trouble here because our platoon chief is fat and out of shape. He's got a terrible attitude. He just pumps our lives full of bullcrap all the time. He doesn't take any ownership of anything. And so I read this whole thing, and the Commodore really doesn't know how to respond. I don't think that he was really looking for honesty. I think that he just wanted to act like he was going to be our buddy for a minute, but he wasn't really interested in hearing real feedback. And actually, we left that meeting. I got no real response. And then the next day, I was actually punished for asking those questions. And I was forced to do some really silly things because I asked those questions and I gave my honest feedback. So I was punished. So here's the lessons. I want to wrap this up. First of all, if you are serving under poor leadership, you're not going to accomplish anything by going to complain to your leaders. You're not going to accomplish anything by complaining about the poor leadership that you're serving under. You're not going to do it. If you go to the people who are in charge of putting the poor leader that you're serving under in the place that he is in, if you go and complain to them That's not going to accomplish anything, all right? All it's going to do is cause problems for you. So if you're sitting around complaining about your leadership, wherever you are, understand that all you're going to do is create more problems for yourself and for your team, and you're not going to accomplish anything. Really, your only option is, and what I wish I would have done, if I would have been a good enough person, a developed enough human being back in those days, what I should have done, instead of complaining about my leadership, I should have come alongside my platoon chief and maybe helped him. Maybe gave honest feedback to him, and maybe helped him get physically back in shape. Maybe helped him or encourage him to, stop doing, or maybe just not stop doing, but maybe let him know how the things he was doing and the way he was leading was impacting us, his guys. And maybe suggested some solutions. All right, that's what I should have done. I wasn't there. I wasn't in that place, man. I wasn't in that place, all right? And here's the second thing from this, man. So what if you are the leader? What if you are the leader that's doing a poor job, all right? What if you have some of your team that's coming to you and saying, hey, the way that you're treating us, the way that you're leading is causing a lot of issues in the team. What if you're that person? What if you're the leader, all right? Well, it is your responsibility as a leader to keep yourself physically, mentally, that's emotionally, and spiritually tuned up, man. It is your responsibility to be physically harder and mentally stronger than your opponents, whoever your competition is. And as the leader, you set the standard for that, okay? It is your responsibility. It is your duty to set the standard, the physical standard, the mental standard, the emotional standard, the work ethic, all of that. From a skills perspective, it's your responsibility to set that standard for your guys, all right? I saw today at the gym a leader here in our community. He's in a leadership position. And I had not seen this individual in the gym for quite a while. And I said, and he had gotten overweight and he didn't look very well. Didn't look fit, didn't look in shape. He actually reminded me of my platoon chief in my second platoon. And the way he had been shaped. All right, and I said, hey man, I ain't seen you in the gym in a while. What's up? And he said, yeah, I'm feeling it too. And I said, well, where you been? You been injured, man? He said, no, I've been remodeling my house. And I said, that's a good excuse to let yourself go physically. That's a good excuse to not PT. In the position that you're in as a leader, that's a real freaking good excuse, man. Right? There is a burden of responsibility that comes with being in a leadership position. And if you're not willing to handle that, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, and I'm talking physically, I'm talking you have to be training, you have to be working hard, you have to know how to do the jobs that you're asking other people to do. You don't have to know all the ins and outs of it, right? But you have to have a understanding so that you can set the standard for the people serving under you. If you're not willing to accept that responsibility, then you have no place in leadership and you should just bow out. Okay? Because it's heavy, man. And let me tell you, like I said, I've learned more from serving under extremely poor leaders than I ever have from serving under somebody who actually knew how to lead. So ultimately, it's a blessing if you will extract the lessons from it, if you won't be bitter about it, and if you'll work hard enough to get yourself in a position where you're leading others and then you can make the changes that need to be made in order to impact the lives of your team members, the livelihoods of your team members in a positive way. I could go on and on about this for another freaking hour. I'll do another video telling you guys about my first platoon later on, but that's enough for now. Hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, like, subscribe. Come train with us sometime, man. The Proving Grounds Troop 6. Registration's open on 307project.com. Come train with us. It's part of being a leader. is training, subjecting yourself to a process that's going to make you better. Enough said.